ain't nobody do it like you. You're so fascinating. I can't elaborate it. Words cannot explain it. You must be my favorite. My favorite.
What to do, YouTube? I am back, as I said that I was gonna be in like 2 seconds. So I'm back. And this video is a long overdue video. Don't mind me. I probably will be doing some crying. I'm gonna try not to, but this is really in like a this is really throwing me off, actually, side of my face. This is really like an very emotional video. As I said, it's long overdue. So yeah, this is a story time on me losing my grandfather. I'm pretty sure for those who have lost a grandparent, I actually lost both of my grandparents within a year of each other. My grandmother passed away February 19th, 2020, and my grandfather passed away May 15th, 2021. So yeah, this is kind of like a little story time on that. I'm gonna try my best not to get too emotional. And yep, let's just hop right into it, because I'm gonna like probably try to stall because this is very hard for me to talk about. So let's start with if y'all hear me like breathing heavy or like sniffing and stuff like that, I don't know what's going on. I think I woke up and my sinuses was just like all over the place. So yes, if I sound like a fat pig, it's because of my sinuses. Sinuses off the chain. Yeah, so I'm not really sure on the date, but I'm actually not really gonna go too in depth with I said on my about me that I was probably gonna like have to go into a little more detail on I said in my about me that I was gonna probably have to go more into detail on my upbringing and stuff like that, but I'm gonna actually just really try to save that for another video. This video was supposed to fall into that, but I don't really want it to, so I'm just gonna try to maneuver around that. So long story short, because it really is a long story, so I'm not gonna make it a long story short. I'm gonna just try to sum it all up and hopefully not get too emotional. If I do, then this is just the raw and uncut version of me. And if I cry, I cry. I really can't say whether or not I'm gonna cry or not, but yeah, here I am stalling. So well, honestly, this really started in April. Like when my grandfather really got like bad. April is when he really got sick. Actually, when I had finally started working again after losing my job from the pandemic, I started working in April, and then a couple weeks later, my grandfather really got like sick. So like he was already suffering from, I think, like the last few stages of, my lips are so dry, the last few stages of dementia. I think he was already in those stages. So in those stages, but I think he was already in like maybe the last stage of dementia. And I can't really remember the date, but I think once, either the end of April or the very beginning of May. I really think it was the end of April, but the end of April, um, that's when we really, I guess, started to go to the hospital to see him. Um, I keep looking up because I'm trying not to look at the camera for whatever reason. Don't know why. I think it's because I don't want to get emotional, so I think that's why I'm not trying to look at the camera while I'm talking. But I need to give y'all eye contact because that's very rude. So I want to say, and also when I'm thinking, I tend to look off into space because I'm trying to remember stuff. But beginning in April, beginning May, we started to go to the hospital to see him. Beginning May for sure, he had fell. No, I think the end of April he fell, and I think we didn't find out until he ended up in the hospital for like I think they said like a blood clot or something. I'm not sure, but I just know that something happened. He fell. They didn't tell us until some time later, and I'm just like, what the? Okay, like what the f? But all right. So that was that, and he was in the hospital. Then, just like beginning May, he was going to the hospital to see him. What's this? Beginning May, we had got a phone call that he wasn't responding. He was in his group. He was in the like a little home, a little senior citizen home, but it was only like 3 of them. They were in a house, and it was 3 of them total. So it was my grandfather and 2 other guys that was living in this house, and they had like nurses. They had 24-hour nurses and stuff like that. So he wasn't responding. So technically, when he was at the home, they brought him back and rushed him to the hospital. Or I think he fell, and then once he got to the hospital, he passed. That's what it is. Once he got to the hospital, I'm sorry if this is all over the place. I'm sorry. That was a very tough, very, 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 very tough situation. Very, very hard thing to deal with. So if it's just all over the place, it's because my memory on that is kind of, it's just everywhere. I can't really remember dates, and I remember dates, but certain dates I don't really remember, or I don't really remember how everything really played out. But long story short, and I say that again, I'm gonna really try to stop repeating myself when I do story times and stuff like that. And so he got to the hospital, and I think he passed away while they were waiting to put him in a room or something like that. And then they brought him back. So technically he had already passed, but they resuscitated him and called family. So, you know, my mom called me, or I think she called me, or I may have been at work, so she waited until I got off of work to tell me. So we went to the hospital to go see him because he had it set to where he didn't want to be he didn't want to be placed on life support. So when they brought him back. They actually like went against his will. So they brought him back, and then it was just like touch and go. So they called the family because they was going to take him off life support, and they wanted us to come up there to see him because, you know, once they pull the plug, you never know how long a person will last after they pull the plug. So we all went to the hospital. I think this was maybe the 6th, or in between the 6th and the 9th when that happened, of May. And yeah, so they pulled the plug, and we just stood there waiting to, you know, waiting to see what was going to happen. He was really ill. It was really hard, like really hard to see him look so miserable and just struggle to like still struggle to breathe, still struggle to be here. And yeah, we didn't know what it was going to happen, so we were there for at least maybe probably about 2 hours. I think we were there for about 2 hours, and he was still holding on, still breathing. So we left because his heart rate was going up. So it was like, okay, well, you know, it's not looking too bad. You know, it's kind of looking good. So at this point, we really don't know what can happen because it was looking good. So every day from that day, not every day, but almost every day or every other day, or just whenever I could go up there, or every time I went to work, my mom would come and get me so that we can go and be with him at the hospital, because like they said, we never know when it's going to happen, or you know what is going to happen, if he could turn around for the better or whatever the case may be. So he kind of like, you know, turned around for the better for a few days. So that was maybe like between the 6th and the 9th. Come the 15th, I got off of work. It was a Saturday. We got off work. Well, I got off work. My mom came to get me. She was like, she going to see my grandfather. And of course, I was like, yeah, I'm going too. Like, of course I'm going. This man is my rock. This man raised me. So, yeah, I was there. So, come the 15th, we go up there. My aunt and my little cousin is already there. So by the time we got there, my aunt and my little cousin were leaving, and my aunt had told us, you know, he was breathing, but it was like he was breathing like really fast. So she told us that, and we were like, okay, well, we're gonna go up here and we're gonna, you know, spend some time with him, or whatever the case may be, like we had been doing already prior to, since the day he initially came to the hospital. Excuse me. So, and by the way, I did not like his nurses, like, at all. But well, I didn't like one of them, the one that was there the day that he passed away, which was the 15th. So we get there, we go upstairs, we're chilling, spending time with him, and you know, everything's cool. Everything seems cool. He is breathing fast, but when we got upstairs, things started to just shift. Like, things really started to shift. So instead of him, like, he was breathing fast, but then he started to slow down his breathing, and then it was like really, it seemed like it was like really impossible for him to breathe. So it became really, 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 really faint. So he was taking a breath, and then he would stop, and then he would take a breath, and then he would stop. He would take a breath, and then he would stop. And once I noticed it, I'm telling my mom, I'm like, granddaddy kind of like, breathing a little slow now. And yeah, so he started to like slow down on his breathing, and I went and I held his hand, because I could tell that like it was hard for him to breathe, and it was very like it was so hard to watch. Like I just knew that I just kind of felt in me that like, okay, I guess this is about to be the day. I knew the day was going to come, of course, because like I said, he had already technically passed away a few days before, and then they took him off life support. So for him to had held on for as long as he did, it was very surprising. And I thought things were going to turn around, because it's been days now. It's been at least like a week now. So I'm thinking that, everything's going to be good. Because normally, some people don't last, like, I've never really heard anyone lasting a week after being taken off life support. So, but he did. So I'm thinking with high hopes. But today, May 15th, today was just the day. And it was so crazy, because I was posting on Instagram and my close friends that his birthday was 10 days away. And so his birthday was on the 25th of May, and it's the 15th of May. So I'm thinking, he's gonna make it to see his birthday. I literally posted on Instagram, and once I post on Instagram that his little birthday countdown, that's when he started to like slow down on his breathing. And it was heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Like, first of all, I've never seen anyone pass away in my face. I've never seen anyone like struggle for their life or anything of that nature. I've never seen nothing like this, except for on movies and stuff. So, to see this in person, and for it to be the person that means everything to me, for it to be him, it's just like, what the fuck? So once I noticed that he started to like struggle to breathe, I went and I held his hand, and me and my mom, we just talked him through it, because he would breathe, and then for like at least 2 to 3 minutes, he wouldn't breathe again. And then he would take another deep breath, so he would take a deep breath, and then he wouldn't breathe. And then out of nowhere, he would take another deep breath. Scared the F-U-C-K out of me, okay? Scared me. So the first time he did that, it scared me. I was like, Mom, And then he started to breathe. And she was like, girl, don't do that to me. Scared me. I said, that wasn't me, that's him. He scared me too. So he did that a few times, and I don't know, it was something about that last breath. It was like I knew that it was the last one, but it was something about that last one. He took his last breath, like while we're talking to him, crying, telling him, you know, it's okay. We know it's hard, so it's okay. Like, it's okay if you know, if you don't want to hold on no more. It's okay. Like, we understand. So it was like after we said all of those things, he took his last breath, and I'm thinking, you know, okay, maybe he just doing what he just did. Like, he gonna breathe again. But like 5 minutes went past. Like, it was like more time went past this time, and he didn't breathe again. And I checked his pulse. I checked his pulse on his arm, his neck. I put my head to his chest, and I didn't hear anything. I didn't feel anything, and he just didn't, like, nothing happened. Like, nothing. It was just like, it was the worst experience of my life. I literally felt my heart like breaking. Like, I don't know what happened, but my chest just started to feel funny. It started to feel weak. Like, I felt like I needed to sit down, but if I did sit down, I don't know what was gonna happen. So I just tried to, like, pace back and forth, and still hoping that, like, okay, maybe he gonna breathe again, but he still didn't. So you know, once I came to realization, like, okay, this, like, that's it, like, he's gone. Yeah, like I said, my chest just like everything just went numb. Everything went numb, like, I don't wish that on nobody. To see your loved one pass away, it's just, it's hard. Whether it's your grandparent, whether it's your mom, your dad, your siblings, cousins, friends, anybody. To see anybody, even if it's somebody you don't know, to see anyone just, like, take their last breath in your face is a horrifying experience. And for me to see my grandfather, the man who raised me, the man who really gave me, like, reason to live, literally from the day that I was born, to see him just go like that, not go like that because he was old and he was sick and he was suffering. So it was just a mix. I had mixed feelings. Of course, like I said, I was heartbroken. I literally felt my heart break. Like, I've never felt my heart break before until then. Like, heartbreak is a real live thing. Like, you can really feel when your heart is broken. So, and I think, I'm not sure if, like, I know my heart would have been broken regardless, but to see and spend those last moments with him is like, was like the icing on the cake. Like, I'm very grateful that I got to spend those last moments, but at the same time, it's very horrifying. Like, and it was 10 days before his birthday. So that whole, like, so my mom and I spent maybe like 2 hours at the hospital after he passed away. He passed away at maybe like 4:45, around that time, 4:40 to 4:50. He passed away around that time. But the nurses or the doctors didn't pronounce him dead until 5:20. But he had already been gone minutes before then. So that was that. And my mom and I spent maybe about 2 hours in the parking lot just crying. I felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. Like, I don't know. I know they say God is not going to put you through anything that you can't handle. And I'm not going to say that I can't handle it, but I don't know. I can't handle it. Like, I still have nightmares. Well, not really nightmares, because anything that my grandparents come to me in, especially my grandfather, any dream that I have and I see his face or anything like that is not a nightmare, because they're not bad dreams. But it's a nightmare for me because each time I wake up crying, like boo-hoo crying. And I don't know if it's because I've cried and I've had time to cry, but at the same time, once I do start crying, I like try to hurry up and stop crying. Like, I don't let my emotions from this situation just flow. And people keep telling me to let it flow, because the more you hold it in, the harder it's going to be. So I think that's why when I do have dreams, I wake up crying hysterically, like just like, I can't even explain how I wake up crying from those dreams. I just had a dream yesterday. Actually, I woke up crying hysterically in my sleep because I had a dream about my grandfather, or whatever case may be. But yeah, so that was the day of his passing. And you know, for the week, you gotta do funeral arrangements, when you want the funeral to be, and what he's gonna wear and stuff of that nature. So that whole week was just a lot as well. We had to pick out what he was gonna wear, and when his funeral was gonna be. So like I said, his birthday was literally the next week. And when we was at the funeral home, the only day that they had available that was soon was his birthday. So, which was the next Tuesday, May 25th. So, you know, we did our little preparations to get ready for the funeral. Got his outfit, viewed the body before, and everything like that. Make sure his haircut was nice, make sure his face looked nice, and everything of that nature. So we had his celebration of life, which is what they call it, a celebration of life. We had his celebration of life on his birthday. That day was very hard as well because, like I said, it was his birthday. So to have his funeral on his birthday was a lot. And it was just, I don't know, it's just been like, it's just been hard. I sprained my ankle actually 2 days after the funeral. I went out with my friends and got stupid drunk, and I freaking twisted my ankle. Well, sprained my ankle, and I had a very high sprain where I tore ligaments. So I was out of work, and I couldn't, well, I'm not gonna say I couldn't do anything because I was still out doing stuff, but I was out of work for 2 months. And yeah, so this is his obituary. You know, we'll program and stuff. Here we have some pictures of family and stuff. And here's another page full of pictures. This is my favorite picture. That's me and him. Oh, that's my little cousin right there. That's him and my grandmother and my family here. This picture is while he was in the home. This was during COVID, so he couldn't come outside. So he's back here, still in the house. But this is us outside the house. And here's a picture of him and my mom. And then me, him, and my grandmother and my graduation. So this is my grandfather. He's also, losing him has opened my eyes to a lot. It's really opened my eyes to life and experiencing death the way that I had to experience life and death has really opened my eyes as well. And he's also told me for the longest, like since I was a little girl, that I would be a model, superstar, or something of that nature. Just something big. He's always seen me to be someone big. So, and I wanted, and I had hoped that my life would have been a little different, or I would have done things a little bit different, so that those things could have taken place before he passed away. But unfortunately, that hasn't happened that way. So now everything that I do, I want to be better at. He's also the reason behind me wanting to start my YouTube. Just because, as I said, he always seen me as being someone big. So, and I don't want fame or anything of that nature. I just want to make him proud, and I just want to be heard. I want to be able to tell my story and to be heard, and to inspire other people to know that no matter how hard life gets, just keep going, or no matter who supports you, who's in your corner, to just do what you want to do what you love, and just keep moving forward. Because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, you only have yourself, and you only have this life to live for this moment. So make the best of it, and do whatever it is that makes you happy. Live unapologetically, live freely, and be you 100%. I just want to say thank you to those who do support me. Thank you to my grandparents for always being there to support me from the day that I was born. This is my thank you to them. I miss you guys. I love you guys, and I just hope to do better by you guys. And for more videos, more content from me, even you're still gonna get it anyway, but make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And tell a friend, tell your uncle, grandmother, granddaddy, cousin, dog, cat, rat, whoever, everybody. Tell the whole world to subscribe, like, comment, subscribe. And this is the end of that video. It's your girl, MOOKIE, and I will see y'all in the next video.
No, no, no.